Welcome back to Unexplained Shores, everyone. Today, we're diving into something truly unsettling, a mystery that's been sending shivers down the spines of locals in Dover and Kent for years. We're talking about bodies appearing out of nowhere, disappearing people. It's like something out of a gothic novel, but it's very real.
It really is, Peter. And when you think about Dover and Kent, you picture those iconic white cliffs, charming coastal towns, beautiful scenery. You don't immediately think of a backdrop for unsolved disappearances and macabre discoveries. But that's exactly what it's become for many.
Exactly. Let's start with the sheer volume of these incidents. It's not just one or two isolated events. We're talking about a series of unexplained discoveries that have plagued these coastal communities. Imagine waking up to a misty morning, a typical English coastal scene, only for it to be shattered by the discovery of two bodies floating in the water. No explanation, no clear identity, just there.
That's the kind of thing that sticks with a community, It's not just the immediate shock, it's the lingering unease. And it's not just unidentified individuals either. There was the case of Ben Moss, a name that resonates strongly in Faversham. A seasoned diver, someone who knew the waters, just vanishes off the Dover coast.
Ben's story is particularly heartbreaking because it hits so close to home for many. He wasn't some unknown transient, he was a local figure, and despite everything, the Coast Guard, the RNLI, the police, all these resources poured into the search, he just disappeared. His fate remains utterly unknown, which leaves such a gaping wound for his loved ones and for the entire community.
It's the lack of closure, isn't it? That's what really gnaws at people. And then, as if that weren't enough, another incident involving three bodies found near the cliffs of Dover. Two men, a woman, their lives abruptly ended, stories unfinished, and the circumstances surrounding their deaths completely unclear. It just adds another layer to this already thick, chilling enigma.
It suggests a pattern, Martin. That's what's so concerning. These aren't isolated events. Over the years, countless unidentified bodies have washed up on Kent's east coast. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Some are chillingly believed to have jumped from the cliffs. Despite detailed records, descriptions, attempts at identification, many of these individuals remain nameless. Their identities, their histories, just lost to the sea.
It paints a very grim picture. You have to wonder, what is going on here? Is it a particularly treacherous stretch of coastline? Is there something darker at play? Because it's a lot of unexplained ends, isn't it?
That's precisely the question, isn't it? What could possibly explain these eerie occurrences? And this is where the theories start to diverge, some veering into territory that's, well, let's just say, less conventional.
Oh, here we go. This is my favorite part. Because when the logical explanations run dry, that's when you have to start looking at the impossible, right? And one of the most fantastical, yet strangely persistent theories involves mermaids.
Mermaids, yes, the mythical creatures of folklore, often depicted as half human, half fish. It sounds ludicrous, I know, but you can't deny their enduring presence in human history. From ancient texts to seafaring legends, sightings have been recorded for centuries.
Exactly. We're not just talking about Disney movies here. Pliny the Elder reported Nereids, these ancient Greek sea nymphs, essentially mermaids. And there's an account in the mid-13th century book Speculum Regale describing a mermaid washing ashore in Greenland. People have been seeing these things, or believing they've seen them, for millennia. Is it so far-fetched to think that if they exist, perhaps some interaction, some unfortunate encounter, could be happening now?
It's a romantic idea, a terrifying one perhaps, but still, the idea that these ancient, mysterious beings could be responsible for dragging people down or luring them to their deaths, it taps into a primal fear of the unknown depths. But rationally, Martin, can we really entertain mermaids as a cause for multiple deaths in modern Kent?
Why not? The sea is vast, it's deep, it's still largely unexplored. Who's to say what really lurks down there? And the folklore isn't always about beautiful, benevolent creatures. Many mermaid tales are about them being seductive, dangerous, luring sailors to their doom. Think of the sirens. It's a classic motif for a reason. And when you have bodies washing ashore with no clear cause of death, no obvious signs of foul play from human perpetrators, or even accidental drowning that makes sense, well, your mind starts to wander, doesn't it?
It definitely makes for a compelling story, But I'm going to need a bit more than ancient texts to connect mermaids to Ben Moss's disappearance, you know? While I appreciate the mythological angle, I'm trying to look for something that, however unconventional, might still have a tangible link. And speaking of tangible, or less tangible, there's another theory that takes us not beneath the waves, but up to the skies.
Ah, yes, the UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, or as we used to call them, UFOs. Now, this one has a certain modern mystique to it, doesn't it? And it's not just whispered anecdotes here. We're talking about around 100 confirmed sightings on government record in Kent.
Exactly. Glowing objects, eerie auras, unique shapes that defy conventional aeronautical explanation, all unexplained, all adding to this growing sense of mystery over Kent. What if these disappearances aren't from below, but from above? What if these UAPs are not just observing, but actively involved?
It's a chilling thought. You're walking along the cliffs, enjoying the view, and suddenly there's a light, an unidentifiable craft, and then nothing. Or maybe they're not even taking people. Maybe their presence, their technology, has some unforeseen effect on the human body or mind that leads to these strange deaths. It's a very science fiction scenario, but it has a different kind of historical weight now that governments are actually acknowledging these phenomena.
That's a key point, Martin. The shift in official stance regarding UAPs has definitely lent more credibility to these kinds of theories. It's no longer just the realm of fringe conspiracy theorists. When military pilots are reporting things they can't explain, and the Pentagon is releasing footage, it makes you wonder what else they're not telling us. And if these things are observed over Kent, a place already plagued by maritime mysteries, is there a connection?
It's not hard to connect the dots in your mind. If you've got unexplained lights in the sky and unexplained bodies in the water, the human brain naturally tries to find a link. Maybe these UAPs are operating from underwater bases, emerging from the depths and returning there. That would tie both theories together, wouldn't it? The deep sea and the deep space, merging into one grand, terrifying unknown.
Now you're really pushing the envelope, Martin. But it does highlight how unsettling the unknown can be. When we can't find conventional answers for something as fundamental as why people are dying or disappearing, our minds naturally search for extraordinary explanations. And both mermaids and UAPs tap into very ancient and very modern anxieties about what lies beyond our understanding.
Absolutely. Think about the psychological impact on the communities. If it's a serial killer, you expect police presence, investigations, a resolution eventually. If it's accidents, you expect explanations about currents or conditions. But when you have this persistent, eerie pattern of unexplained deaths and disappearances with no apparent cause and no one to blame, that's when the folk tales and the alien theories really take root. It's a way for people to try and make sense of the senseless.
It becomes a way to cope, or at least to give a name to the fear. The sheer volume of unidentified bodies, too, is incredibly sad. These are individuals with lives, families, stories. To be lost to the sea and then to remain nameless is a tragedy compounded. And the idea that some might have jumped from cliffs, as mentioned in the records, could itself be a cover for something else, couldn't it? Or perhaps the circumstances leading them to jump are themselves part of the mystery, a sudden disorientation, a powerful influence.
Precisely. If someone jumps, there's usually a reason, a note, a struggle, something. But if it's just believed to have jumped with no other evidence, it leaves so much open to interpretation. Was there an influence? Was it an external force? The cliffs themselves are iconic, almost mystical in their grandeur. It's not hard to imagine them as a gateway to another realm, whether that's the mythical deep or an extraterrestrial rendezvous point.
You know, the fact that Dover and Kent are so strategically important, historically and geographically, connecting England to the continent, might also play into this. Could there be something about the energy of the place, or the sheer volume of maritime traffic, that makes it a hotspot for unusual activity, whether that's cryptids from the deep or visitors from other worlds?
That's a really interesting point. The English Channel is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. Perhaps these phenomena are drawn to that activity, or perhaps they've been there all along, and the increased traffic simply means more human encounters or observations. It certainly adds another layer to the enigma.
And the weather conditions too. The misty mornings, the often tumultuous waters. These aren't calm, crystal clear Caribbean seas. They're often grey, rough, and unforgiving, Perfect conditions, one might say, for things to go unseen or for accidents to be inexplicable.
So, are we leaning towards natural treachery or something truly anomalous? If we had to put our money on it, Peter, which theory feels more plausible to you given the information? Mermaids, UAPs, or just a series of tragic, unrelated misfortunes in a challenging environment?
Well, the skeptical, rational part of me still leans towards a combination of natural hazards, perhaps some unfortunate human circumstances, and the inherent difficulty of recovering and identifying bodies in such a dynamic marine environment. The sea is a powerful force, and it doesn't give up its secrets easily. However, I can't completely dismiss the UAP sightings. The government acknowledgement has changed the game. It suggests there's something genuinely unexplained happening in our skies, and if it's in the skies over Kent, who's to say it doesn't have an influence on the ground or even the water below?
I get that. I mean, my heart wants it to be mermaids, just for the sheer poetry of it. But my head, when I hear about those confirmed UAP sightings, it really makes you think, especially with the descriptions glowing objects, unique shapes. These aren't just weather balloons or mistaken birds, it's something else. And the thought that whatever these things are, they could be interacting with our world in ways we can't fathom, potentially affecting human lives, that's a chilling prospect.
It truly is. The Kent coastline, specifically around Dover, has this beautiful, serene facade, but underneath, or perhaps above it, there's a current of deep, unresolved mystery. The fact that these cases continue to baffle authorities and communities alike just solidifies that sense of the unknown. Ben Moss's family still waits for answers, and so many nameless individuals lie in anonymous graves, their stories unheard.
And that's what makes these stories so enduring, isn't it? The human need to understand, to find closure, when all you're left with are questions and theories that stretch the bounds of belief. From the tranquil yet tumultuous waters of Dover and Kent, a mystery truly lurks beneath the surface, and above, apparently.
Indeed. So, to summarize, from the waters of Dover and Kent have emerged a series of unexplained bodies, their origins and ends shrouded in mystery. Theories ranging from mermaids to UFOs have been proposed, each more fascinating than the last. But as of now, the truth remains elusive, hidden beneath the waves or perhaps up above in the vast expanse of the sky. It's a reminder that even in our most familiar landscapes, the unexplained can still thrive.
A truly haunting thought, Peter, and one that will keep us all looking a little differently at those beautiful cliffs next time we visit. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the mysteries of Dover and Kent. Keep those theories coming, and until next time, stay curious and stay safe.
Absolutely. And if any of you out there have any insights, or even just your own theories on what could be happening in Kent, we'd love to hear them. This is a mystery that truly begs for every possible perspective. Thanks for tuning in.